What do you want to do with this next chapter? You're writing music, you're actually putting stuff out there, you're doing CDs, did a little rapping. What do you want to do with this next chapter of your life?
The next chapter of my life, I would love to continue doing the tribute to Aretha Franklin. I would like to also be able to venture out into a little bit more acting. I do want my music also to be in movies, and I would like to also be in a couple of plays. I know that's kind of old school because they had plays way back when. Growing up, there was plays everywhere. Everybody was doing plays. But I'm noticing now it's a cycle. It's starting to come back. So I wouldn't mind being in a couple more plays. God will answer those prayers of mine because he has not failed me yet. Anything I ask him and he wills it to be so, it's happening in my life.
Hey, and we're back with another episode of the T. Smith Experience with a Too Skilled to Fail podcast in mind. I have Terrie Rimson here with me. Terrie is a singer here in Las Vegas, and she does her thing. She is the queen out here in Las Vegas. Thank you, Terrie, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do is our format today. I always say to people, we don't script stuff here. Okay. What we do is we want to be natural. We kind of want to just go with the flow, but I want people to know about Terrie Rimson because I got to know Terrie Rimson the first time live watching you on your own show. And so let's talk about that show that you just did with your new CD. What do we call it? Record?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Terrie, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Of course, I am a singer, Pentecostal background. Born and raised in the church, singing since age 3. I'm going to continue doing that because I've just been doing it basically up until now. I am now 56 and I will be 57 in April. And I don't plan on changing that. So I do gospel, I do jazz, I do R&B, I do a little bit of pop. On one of my songs, I did a little bit of rapping, but I don't do much of that. But we're just testing a little something out, a little acting. And I used to do a little bit of modeling. And so I'm kind of like well-rounded in the entertainment. And right now I am the host of ALL MOTOWN, which is at the Alexis Park Resort Hotel. I am one of the hosts for that show. I've been there for almost 3 years. And then, of course, you saw me doing my own Aretha Franklin Tribute at the Oyo Hotel. And on that particular day, we dropped my new video, Out of My Mind. And so that's what we're doing. And I have a few things that I'm doing here in town. Every first Sunday, I'll be doing a gospel brunch at the Mask. And then also I'll be doing another Aretha Franklin show in the month of June.
Look, let me tell you. When do you sit down?
I'm trying.
Okay. But at the same time, you're 56 years old. You started at 3 years old. Learning your voice at 3, what your voice was like, kind of practicing and playing around with it at 3. What was that like to think going forward? I mean, 3 years old, to think going forward, you're going to be this big entertainer. Were you just practicing at home or it was just for fun?
Oh, well, you know what? When you're born in the church and, my Pentecostal background, artists came in and out of my house because my mother was a nationally known figurehead in the Church of God in Christ. And so she was an evangelist. So she traveled and she became friends with these people that she ministered to. So you had people that were in the church that were in and out of my mother's home. So music was in and out the home, such as the Clark sisters, the late Daryl Coley, Tremaine Hawkins, Walter Hawkins, Edwin Hawkins. All these people played a part in my life growing up. And so I could do nothing but sing. My mother sings and my dad, he played an instrument. So I was always surrounded by music.
All right, and I see you passed it down to your son.
I sure did.
We had on the show as well.
Yes.
So it was one of those things to where, if you grew up around it, it just makes sense for you to do that. Was there anything else you wanted to do aside from music?
There was acting and modeling, and then my mother, she also made sure that I was a part of that. I went to acting school, and I also went to modeling school. And so she tried to make sure that everything that I wanted to do, that I was able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we're rapid fire because you're so like your life has been kind of recorded all this time. Like you are documented that you've been doing this for a long time. So to ask you questions, your responses are like, this is what it is. This is how it was.
Yeah.
I love this. What we want to do, I would say, what do you want to do? Because I'm adding myself in there. What do you want to do with this next chapter? You're writing music. You're actually putting stuff out there. You're doing CDs. Did a little rapping. What do you want to do with this next chapter of your life?
The next chapter of my life, I would love to continue doing the tribute to Aretha Franklin. I would like to also be able to venture out into a little bit more acting. I do want my music also to be in movies, and I would like to also be in a couple of plays. I know that's kind of old school because they had plays way back when. Growing up, there was plays everywhere. Everybody was doing plays. But I'm noticing now it's a cycle. It's starting to come back. So I wouldn't mind being in a couple more plays and, again, have my music in some movies and also be in the movies. And then also do soundtracks for movies. Yeah. So that's what the next chapter of my life is looking like to me. And I believe God will answer those prayers of mine because he has not failed me yet. Anything I ask him, and he wills it to be so, it's happening in my life. It may take a little while for me to get there, and it seems like it because I'm older now, and some things I wanted him to do for me when I was younger, but, you know, he knows better than I do. Sometimes I question him and say, why did you wait until I'm at this age to do this and this and that? And, you know, a lot of times we can't handle things when we're not at that age to handle it. Sometimes we have to be mature. We have to be processed. I had to be processed. You know, I am a former pastor's wife, bishop's wife. So there were some transitions that I had to go throughout that in order to strengthen me to be the strong woman that I am now. At that time, I believe I would have been too weak for a lot of things to happen that are happening for me now.
I mean, timing is everything. We can just dig into kind of talking about that alone. I definitely don't want to graze over that because I feel like that's super important about the timing of when something happens for us or when it doesn't happen for us.
Absolutely.
And it's okay. It doesn't feel okay in the moment.
It does not.
Because I go through stuff all the time, and I'm like, oh, but why, God? Why?
Yes.
When?
Right.
So my question this morning, as I prayed, I was on my knees, literally praying this morning, was when? Lord, I am trying to do everything I need to do. When is it going to be my time?
Yes.
For the things I'm praying for. And we question, but when it happens, I know it's going to happen in good timing.
Absolutely. Anything that's in the will of God is always perfect. It's always perfect and right on time. So, I'm patient, and I'm like you. I still ask. I know he's probably sick of me asking, but I'm very patient because I know when he does it, it'll be the right timing because I don't want to be out of his will. And usually when you do things when it's not the right time, then we make a mess out of it. Absolutely. And I do not want to do that. I'm getting too old for that. Yeah.
Yeah. You make so you're making act like precise
moves.
Yes. Like let me think about it and make these little short steps to get to where we need to be. What's the biggest challenges that you've seen within kind of getting your career off the ground? One, you've transitioned. We haven't talked about your move and getting here to Las Vegas alone.
Yeah.
But what are those challenges looking like?
Support. And when I say support, I don't mean my inner circle because I have a great support system for my inner circle. It's outside of that to get people to grasp and people to know who you are because there's so many people out here that are talented. And so you just have to ask God to give you the graph or tell you how to navigate through all these different people so that you will stand out. But then you don't want to try too hard because sometimes when you try too hard, again, you mess up. So you're asking God, okay, who's going to see me? Because all it takes is one person to see you, and then that will set you up for life. And so it's just navigating, trying to figure out what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and who to tap into. Because you got people that will tap into you, but they're the wrong people. So then you got to have a gift of discernment. So you can say, no, that person is not right for me. So it's just like a mind thing. But the number one thing is if you have a prayer life, like you said this morning, when you are open to God and open to his voice, then he will lead and guide you in the right direction. So to me, that is definitely a challenge, making sure that you connect with the right people and having the right support.
Was there ever a time that you said, I need to find something else to do?
Yes, there was.
What was that like?
When I didn't stop doing gospel, so I need to make sure I clarify that. But I was doing gospel before I started doing R&B soul. And I knew what God had told me that I could do and what he would allow me to do. A lot of times God will take you from doing something to do something different so that you can get into a different spectrum so other people will see you. Because if I would have stayed doing gospel, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. And the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now is because I obeyed God. I prayed. I said, God, I need to step outside the box of doing gospel, try a little R&B. And when I did that, more doors started opening for me. It was definitely a challenge because people talked about it. They said it wasn't of God. I had people in the church that would turn me down from coming to their churches to sing. They said I had left God. And being, a church baby, as we would say, that was rough. For you to judge me and say I left God and, God is not, hands is not on her life and this is not going to work for her. And do you see what she's doing? She's married to a pastor. Her mother's a pastor. This doesn't look good. So I was dealing with all of that. But the comfort in knowing that God told me to do it is what helped me to move forward and do what I'm doing.
Absolutely. I mean, you did obeying to a certain degree. Your obey is not to the church and to the people. The church is to God. And that's what I think that conversation I had yesterday was a lot of about, just being committed to God and listening to God's word. Sometimes you have to block out everything else, even though the person is maybe your mother, father, someone who you totally respect.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to be like, his voice is louder, though.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm going to listen to him. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
It is very hard.
That's definitely hard. For me, religion-wise, it was something I sought out. It wasn't something that was put on me. I wasn't raised in a church necessarily. I was raised Catholic and then moved to Christian. I talk about that. But I got to choose what I wanted to do, whether I wanted to be faithful and believe in God. But there was, though, the family, woes of you're 16 and pregnant. Oh, you're not going to be anything better than your mother. So it's still those things to where I had prayed to see, like, God, should I have this baby at 16? And I made the decision based on listening to him, but all the family members who didn't agree. So it's not the same, but it is.
Yes.
Church versus your family life. It's just people putting their input into your life that has nothing to do with them. And I say this, and I really want to say this, so if there's any younger people who are going through this stuff, or they're even older people going through this stuff, because I hear a lot in church where you have to choose and you don't know what to do until all of a sudden we have this, and I want to ask you about that. We have this moment of, I'm going to start listening to my inner voice and not to everybody else. When was your inner voice louder than the people around you?
When I chose to do the R&B. Again, like you said, it was rough. But when I chose to do the R&B and I started noticing how God started connecting me to different people, and I started networking with different people, and then God told me, he says, do not look back. Don't listen to what they're saying, because if you take your eyes off of me, then that's when this is going to fall apart. So I had to keep blocking out the naysayers and focus on what he told me and what he promised me. And then I just got to a point that I didn't care what they said. Right. And it got rough because, like you said, you got family.
It gets lonely.
Yeah.
They say it gets lonely at the top. It gets lonely, and it's definitely lonely in the middle.
Yes.
Because you don't have people to, who's going to stand in the gap with you.
Yeah.
The people in the gap with you are with you, whether you go just do what the secular, non-secular, secular music, they are there with you in the gap. But that gap gets real lonely.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then sometimes you can't explain it, Sometimes certain things happen in your life and you can't explain it. And I couldn't sit there and explain to them what I knew he had told me. I couldn't explain to them what I saw in my future. And a lot of times it's not meant for us to explain. Because when the conversation was had, you weren't there, so you don't know what he told me. So by me trying to explain it to you, you're not going to understand anyway.
Absolutely.
And people always talk about what they don't understand. But once you sit down and talk to me, then you'll understand. But a lot of people don't even want to sit down and talk to you. They rather talk about it,
right,
and keep it going.
And how about when you get to that point where success, defined by you, not no one else, when success is there and people are like, "Oh, girl, I knew you were gonna make it."
You're right.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Yeah.
Of course, you've been at this for a long time, and I think there's a lot of, even for me, and I'd have to use my being a teen parent. I was definitely a statistic, that everyone wrote in that I was going to fail at what I'm doing. And every day to this moment, I constantly kind of remember that I'm fight harder.
Yeah.
So the fail, too skilled to fail, the fail is not even an option for me.
Absolutely.
It's not an option.
Yeah.
I may change. I may, there may be a pendulum that swings another way, but I'm not going to fail if I continue to move forward.
Right.
Move forward can be a sway. You could change everything around.
That's right.
Your move forward from gospel to now more of R&B and blues and jazz and things like that. That's your move away. But I'm still going to continue doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to give up on this.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what I think we all got to just remember. when things get hard. The whole too skilled to fail. I like to talk about it on the show because that's what it is about. I wanted to encourage people. I wanted to be uplifting. I didn't when I first start saying it. Someone said it to me, but when I first started saying it, I thought it was arrogant. I thought it was boastful, and I was like, it's okay. It's okay to kind of feel that and believe in that, and that was what was someone said that to me because they believed in me more than I believed in myself. Just doing my daughter's hair and doing other stuff. They're like, girl, you are too skilled to fail. You always doing something. And I always tell people I banked that idea.
Right.
And here we are years later, decided to actually put it out there. And it wasn't just for me. I lived by that, but it wasn't just for me. And every once in a while, I have to look in the mirror and be like, okay, girl, you are too skilled to fail. You got this. You got this. Words of encouragement to myself. Yeah. Because it's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So here performing. You've landed some gig. You got here. Let's go back a little bit and talk about what you were doing before you got to Vegas, and then now how you're able to kind of work the city, if you will, because you are working the city, and I love that.
Oh, God
you are
good.
Working the city.
God is good.
If you could say I've been uptown, I'm on the strip, I'm on here, you're working the entire city.
Okay.
But how did you do that transition from back home to here?
From Philadelphia to here. It was a God thing. And I don't mean to sound deep and wonderful,
Please
but
do.
That's exactly what it was. So I had already been coming back and forth to Vegas and LA performing. And I was performing at the Rio. I performed there a couple of times at 702. Then I was going back and forth to LA. And so I kept coming to Vegas. And like one night I was in Vegas standing in the hotel room just looking out the window, lights, everything. And I kept looking, and the Lord spoke to me and said, you're going to get a residency here. Never thought about moving here. All in Jersey. And I said, Lord, did I hear you correctly?
Yeah.
And he said it again, you will get a residency here. So time went on, and I kept coming back and forth and performing. Thank you to A&E, to Sekou. They were the ones who kept having me at 702, and a couple other people had me there. And then LA, I had an agent there that kept having me come there. And so finally, at the time I was married, and he said the Lord told him to shut the church down. Nobody understood that. But when somebody says the Lord told you,
to shut the
that's
church
when,
down?
that means you got to be quiet. I'm sitting there like, that's the Lord told you? So at the time, my husband said, the Lord said, shut the church down. He shut the church down. And I said, so what we going to do? And the Lord said, you need to go get that residency that I told you to get in Vegas. And I spoke to him about it, and he was like, do it. So I was like, okay, on my way to Vegas. Packed up, moved to Vegas. We moved here during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And we were here, everything was shut down. Nothing was going on. I was like,
So,
Lord,
what possibilities were you just,
Lord,
other than the Lord?
Lord, I'm listening to you, Lord,
Right.
because it ain't nothing going on. Lights was out on the strip.
Right.
And so we're here. I knew what God was telling me. At the time, Miss Anthana, I was kind of talking to her, Anthana McNeil, and I told her I was moving here. She said, when you get here, hit me up. I hit her up. There was a few things going on in the city off the strip, little small things. And she said, I need you just to show up. Yeah. I showed up. She had them toss me the mic. From her having them to toss me the mic, I started making connections with other people that were there. And from there, it's history. Started working for ALL MOTOWN because I was just at the right place at the right time. And a young lady by the name of Katrina said, do you know they're hiring and they're looking for some ladies for ALL MOTOWN. We're in the green room performing for something else. And she said that to me. And I said, really? She gave me information. Went in for the audition. Thank you to Tanja Jones. Tanja, she had me audition. I told her from the up jump, I cannot dance. Let's lay that out on the table. I cannot dance. And so she was like, well, everybody has to, dance, and everybody has to know the routines. And so I went through with it. Of course, I made a joke out of it with the other girls. I can't dance. Because before y'all talk about me, let me talk about myself.
Right.
So I was like, I can't dance. But now I can sing.
Right.
And so what happened was she called me back. She's like, I usually don't do this because I like for the girls to be able to do everything. She says, but I want to hire you in to be one of the hosts. And that's how I end up being there. And I said, God, you kept your word.
Right.
You said that you were going to give me a residency. And again, I'm going on 3 years being with All Motown as one of the hosts.
That is so excellent. Now, and hosting wasn't even probably, you wanted to perform and sing, and now you're hosting.
I never thought it. Never thought that I would be a host of anything. I just knew that he said residency. Residency doing what? I don't know. Yeah. I was just here singing my own material and doing a couple of covers. And that's what I had been doing for a while. Covers and my own material. And never thought that I would host all-female cast and a show. Like, really?
Opportunities.
So it's been a great opportunity. I've learned a lot. Tanja, she's taught me a lot. You know, even though I'm in the church, of course we stand and we sing before thousands of people, but it's something different when you're on a stage like that. So she taught me a lot, and I'm just grateful. Grateful to God, grateful to her that she saw something in me to hire me in as one of her hosts.
That is awesome. I want to know, you talked about your music and writing music. Where do you get your inspiration now? There's the church background, but anything else that's not, gospel?
Marriage, divorce.
Life.
Yeah, right. Divorce, being divorced, being in love and having to end it. And so that's the inspiration. Now that I guess the next chapter in my life is being healed from it, and how you overcame it, and you still kept pushing, and you let it pull you down, and you didn't let it make you depressed. And sometimes people divorce and they feel like they can't make it. I was the opposite. The real thing about it, the day I signed the papers, I was happy.
Shoot, the day I signed my papers, I came to Vegas. I was living in California.
Wow.
I signed court in the morning. I was in Vegas by that evening.
Yeah.
Because it was liberating. And
it was.
No means to, my ex-husband, great person. It's
exactly.
just didn't, it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I made the decision. It wasn't for me. And I'm like, whew, okay. Now what?
Yeah.
I have to figure something else out. And it's not as easy all the time. And there was kids involved and things like that. But it's not as easy. But for me, I definitely needed that, because now it's like, now you have to make the best of what you have, which is you.
Yeah, that's right.
Look right, look left. It was me.
Yep.
There's family members, there's people who support. But at the end of the day, that person in your ear every single day, other than God, it's just me.
Absolutely.
And that was hard.
Yeah, and my marriage was 34 years.
Oh, wow.
So it was a lot of adjusting that I had to do. And I think it worked out for the best. Again, like you said, no ill feelings towards my ex. He's very supportive of what I do now. He supports, and if he can be there, I think he was at the show you were at.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He was there. He was sitting in the back. He supports me and my son 100%. And but it was best. I had been married for those many years, and I had been a pastor's wife for almost 28 years of that. And it just comes a time when you just have to move on and accept what it is, and let God just take you further to where he has to take you. And I think it was a time for that to end, so that I can move into the direction that I'm moving in now. And I don't think the church would be able to handle the direction that I was going, and it would probably cause more problems for him. Not me, because I had chose to do what I was going to do. He approved it. He said it was okay. So I was doing just fine, but the church didn't like it towards the middle of me moving forward in my career. They had things to say, which would have caused problems for him. But, hey, I'm at the happiest point in my life now.
That is so good.
And very grateful to God for all that he's doing. And if I had to do it all over again, I would. Probably make another decision about probably being married to a pastor. But at the time, he wasn't a pastor. Because, it's not easy being married to men that carry these titles.
Yeah. Because
it's pressure. And so, like you said, I was free. I was like, cool, thank you, Jesus. So, yeah.
It's a time for everything. You were meant to get married to him, regardless of how it was. I say this, some people don't have to go through as much sad times and hurtful times in a relationship, right? In order to say, so I wouldn't be able to say, like, everyone is supposed to go through whatever situation is, but the situation you went through, for whatever reason, you were supposed to go through it and get through it.
Yeah.
So you can be able to tell people like me, people like me and anyone else who are going through something, that you can make it after 30-something years. I only put in 5 and I tapped out. I gotta go. I'm tapping out. So 30-something years of your life, you had to rediscover who you were.
Absolutely.
And or discover who you were, because for me, I was very young. I was 24 when I got married, and I already had kids. And so I still didn't know who I was. I had kids at 16, got married at 24. And so I hadn't got to that point yet. And then I had told myself, no, I need to get to know who I am, what I like outside of my mother, my head, my my spouse, the kids, crying and needing from me. Who am I? And it's still a rediscovery. Moving to Vegas is a rediscovery of me, a next chapter. I moved out of the house that I raised my kids in to move out here in a new space altogether. Didn't know anyone. I'm getting to know myself every single week. I'm outside now, and for me to walk up to someone like you or to your son and say, "Hey, I'm new to town. I'm about to start this podcast. I'm about to do this thing." That was a whole new side of me. I am a very social person typically in situations that I'm familiar with.
Yes.
This was definitely uncharted territories. This was definitely that for me to come here, but it's about the rediscovery. That can get exciting. So once I got past the fear, when I first moved here about 3 months in, I did a live on this. I did a live where I am literally crying on live and like, I just left my mama, my brothers, my dad. I left everyone in California and came all the way over here, and I'm by myself. And that crying went from me crying to also giving this sense of positivity, like, but I'm here and I'm making it and I'm going to be okay. And I know I am. But that was scary.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of adrenaline to get me moved here. And when that adrenaline came down 3 months later, I was like, oh, wait.
Did I make a mistake?
Right. Oh, no. I don't have anyone. What if my tire pops? What if I choke on water? I was being ridiculous with it. But that's how I felt when I first moved here.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's gonna come? I didn't know my neighbors. They didn't know me. And so I think that was the hardest part.
Okay.
Of kind of getting through stuff. For you, your fashion sense, I got to talk about it because it's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
It has been impeccable. Every time I've seen you online, since we connected, I've been watching you and following you. But then at the show, those wardrobe changes.
Thank you.
Yes, those wardrobe changes is amazing. Today, just your style is there. Where do you get that from? What's the motivation?
The style, yes. Well, I'm going to be honest. My mother, everybody that knows her in the Church of God in Christ will tell you that my mother could dress her her behind off.
Yes.
And to this day, she dresses very well. But then, the older you get, you lose a little bit of, of the timing of how you should do different things. So then that's when my nephew stepped in, Torrin, and he'll step in and I'll be like, I want to wear this and I want to wear that. Will you ever think about throwing this with that? So that's where he comes in and he assists me. I kind of have the basics of what I want, but then he'll teach me how to be a little bit more daring. Like, no, Auntie, throw this color with that. Or, no, it's okay to mix patterns. Don't worry about them. Long as you rock it, it's okay. And so now I'm picking that up. It doesn't matter. If I rock it, it's all right.
Yeah. And you rock it. You rock it. Let's put it out there. Thank you, Torrin. Thank you, Soren, for making sure she looks amazing and beautiful. Thank you. Amazing and beautiful at all times and getting you together. I mean, that's having an entourage and having your people in the business that you're doing, no matter what business, is a great thing to have. And I'm learning that. I'm learning to let people in to my spaces, because in my mind, if I were to invite everyone into my mind, it would be so crazy. So what I do is I give them little, there's places for the different people I need in my life. I need a marketing team. I need, the styling team. I need different people in my life to ground me, to be honest, and to also push me. I like how you said Torrin pushes you to kind of get outside of your box in fashion and kind of explore a little bit more. But we need those people.
We do.
There's such an asset and a value of it. But speaking of, I know Torrin's on your team as well and does some music with you. But let's talk about you getting your band together and what that looks like on getting the people, your singers, the band, timing, and you're actually a boss at that point.
Ooh-wee. I enjoy it. It didn't take much because I had already been coming here for the band. I'd already been coming here singing. So what I did was I used the same gentleman that I used for me coming here, such as Chuck. Chuck has been playing for me for almost maybe 8 years. And so I just, I got here, I said, Chuck, I am here.
Keyboardist.
Yes. And he's phenomenal. And from Chuck, then my son, because he's in the industry here, he started suggesting to me different people that, Mom, check this person out, check that person out. So it was almost like a domino effect. Now, the hardest thing that I have to admit that was hard to find here is background singers. And I still have a challenge with that because it's a certain sound that I'm looking for that I get from church, from the East Coast, a little bit from the West Coast. And it's so hard and challenging because I'm looking for this specific sound. And if I don't get it, I get a little discouraged. But I'm starting to learn how to try to navigate through that and try to train them to of what I'm looking for. But then some people are not trainable. You know, you have some singers, they feel like they can't be trained. And that's another problem. And so that's why I always stick with my family. So I tell Torrin, no, you got to sing with me because he knows what I'm looking for. Sure. He's been singing with me for a long, long time. He knows the sound that I'm looking for. My goddaughter, she doesn't want to sing anymore, but I pull her in. Look, I need you. Right. I need you to sing with me because there's a sound that I need to hear. So that's been my challenge here, is trying to find singers that really get it. You know, because some people feel like just because you can hold a note, you can sing. It's a chemistry to it. Just because you got 5 singers, if there's no chemistry there, that means nothing.
A 5-part harmony.
Yeah, exactly.
What they say.
And even with the 5-part or 4-part or 3-part harmony, it still has to be
one
a
sound.
Chemistry. Thank you. Yeah. And I said that in rehearsal.
That's another movie. One band, one sound.
Sorry. Exactly.
I'll go into my movies.
No, you're okay. I just said that to them in rehearsal the other day. I said, I need one sound. And I had explained to them one sound is when we're all singing on the same note. But you get some people, they're singing on the same note, but it sounds like 4 different people on that one note. No, everybody should be in sync together so it sounds like one voice. And so I had to explain that. So it's just different techniques that I was trained with by listening to the Clark sisters and all those that I named that I'm trying to teach them here that are going to be backing me up here whenever I do different things, because sometimes Torrin's not going to be available. So I have to find somebody. My goddaughter may not be available. So I got to find somebody. So I'm trying to get myself together because my ear is still looking for that Pacific sound. Yeah. And it's very discouraging when I don't get it.
Yeah, and it sounds like, too, I mean, you might not be in the teaching mode or coaching mode. I mean, you have to teach it to the point of how much what you want. Yeah. But it sounds like you will have to kind of, if it's a struggle to find people, it's like, okay, I can't find exactly what I want, but let me teach you. And so now just finding the teachable people, coachable people. Yeah, yeah. And putting that out there at the beginning of here. Let me say, I'm a coach you. Let me coach you a little bit of how I want it to sound.
Absolutely.
And figure out that softly being able to delicately put something out there.
And Torrin won't mind me telling this. So I train Torrin. So now when he does what he does, it's because of what I've taught him. Now, I didn't train him how to direct. That gift was already in him.
Oh, gosh.
But as far as training...
Torrin's going to be on the show.
Yeah. But as far as training parts and how the sound is supposed to sound and what we're looking for, I trained him how to do that. And so now whenever I have a rehearsal, he knows what I'm looking for, so he'll help me with them. Because I'm kind of like trying to slide away from the training, but I guess I got to come back. Yeah. I'm finding myself having to come back and train again.
Like I said, you are the boss. You are the boss. No matter how I want to back up and move away from the stuff I do in my business and just say, I have a team, I hired someone to do it, I still need to be there to kind of do the drafts and then the final approval of it. And so I told myself, I said, I got a team now. It is lighter of a load because I'm not doing everything. Right. But I found myself having to continue to be the boss. Yes. This is my own. This is my baby. Yes. This is how I want it. This is how you want it. Don't put it in the hands of somebody else.
That's right. You're right. You're right.
And expect them
to do the way you want it.
Unless you stay on it.
Yep. You're right.
Let's go. Let's put it in a song. Make a song out of that.
You're right. You're right.
Because that is the best and the hardest thing that I learned in the last 2 years because I was frustrated. I'm gonna have all these people I'm adding to the team. They on payroll. I'm paying people, and I still have to be in part of everything. You can't make that decision on your own. I was frustrated. Right. Someone corrected me, so I'm trying to just share that because I was like, I feel so much better now that I own it. That's part of my job. Yeah. To kind of be responsible for everyone who's gonna be delivering something for me to deliver what I wanted. You're right. What I asked for.
Thank you. You are so right. I was trying to run, Tanisha. I'm telling you. I was trying.
I tried to.
Yes.
But I was more frustrated than anything. Yeah. And then to me, one of the things I'm reading is Thinking Like a Monk. I am not even knee deep in it. I'm enough deep in it. Okay. To kind of take the feedback from what it's about the words we say and the things we put out there. So to go on that, to me, I kept on saying negative things. Why can't I give the right people? It's simple. I tell you what to do. All you got to do is do it.
Right.
But I'm the only one frustrated. This person don't even know I'm frustrated. This person just continuing on. And then when I show up to the meetings, I am polite. I'm respectful, and I'm professional about it. So when they don't hear the frustration, but I'm doing something internally to myself.
Right.
Right. I'm feeding this negativity in myself. I'm frustrated and negativity in my body and spirit. And so I said, no, let me start correcting that.
Right.
What is making me frustrated? Let me deal with it. Let me handle that frustration because I don't want to keep on feeding that into my body. The book, I love the book. So far for where I was at, chapter 2? I'm at chapter 4 now.
Okay.
I'm at chapter 4 now. But I'm trying to just learn along the way how to deal with me and then my frustrations and my level of anxiety, of just in everything I'm trying to do. When you're trying to manage multiple things.
Right.
It went from me being a parent to multiple kids in the house to managing multiple companies. It didn't change much. It's still hard. It's still hard.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your brand, so Terrie Rimson, tell me about your brand in itself is just your name?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
So, and you just said, I'm going to just be Terrie Rimson.
I'm just going to be Terrie Rimson. But now somebody has suggested to me, they was like, why don't you just be Terrie? So I'm still sleeping on that. I did have a docuseries, and it's still out there on YouTube, and it was called All About Terrie. So when they said it to me, I was like, well, we did start off with All About Terrie, so maybe we will do that. I'm no longer married, so we may have to start off fresh and do that. So I may just, go off and do Terrie.
Yeah. But, I mean, I say yeah, but just think about it. It's your brand.
Yeah.
It's your brand. And some people get married, especially in the entertainment business and famous people, and they're going to keep that because we all know it. So then that's the stuff we think about on the rebrand.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. So me, I've been branded. I'm just T. Smith. I mean, that's easy. Tanisha Smith.
Okay. Yeah.
There was no, and then the T. Smith experience, because I try to do a lot of different things. So a rebrand for me, I probably still stick with my name because that's what people know. I went to California, hadn't seen this guy in at least 12 years, maybe 15. I walked into a day party. It was a day party, and he was like, Smitty.
Okay.
But I know that group of people all know me. I haven't heard that in so long.
Yeah.
That's my brand, and people know that. It's totally different now. Other people don't call me that now. Y'all don't call me that. It's just this one group. That's it.
Okay.
But Smitty, and it did something for me, right? You guys, it brought me also back to that time because I hadn't heard that in that many years, but I had met them. This is a group of people I met when I was like 17, 18 years old that still will call me Smitty, all right? Or T, just T.
Right, yeah.
And I'm starting to brand myself as just T.
Okay.
So when people meet me, I don't say, hey, my name is Tanisha. It's like, Tanisha, my name is, but you can call me T.
Right, yeah.
Just because it's easier. I love the name, but at the same time, I was never in love with my name. It's too long. I wanted something easy. My cousin's name is Lisa, so I was like, why couldn't I get a name like Lisa? So simple, but here we are. We have, you have your son again. We want to talk about, you have your son here and getting him in the music business. So for you growing up, getting your son in the music business and getting him out there, he was on the show already, as you know. And so he was so inspiring. He's like, you got to have my mom on the show. He was like, my mom should be here first.
The baby.
Yes, that's your baby. Your one baby.
My one baby.
Your one baby who is so proud of you. Right.
Aww.
And I'm sure so many other people are proud of you in the music industry and getting stuff out there. So if nothing else, all the stuff we talked about before about other people like the church not giving you the recognition, you have your baby who is looking up to you and then some, even when you are doing your music video, which I want to talk about. I know you grazed it, but I want to talk about your music video.
Okay.
He was so excited about you doing your music video.
Let me tell you, Tanisha, when he first wrote that song, I believe that was in 2017. We recorded in 2018. He told me back then, Mom, this is the type of video I want, and when we do it, I'm going to pay for the video. Now, back then, he didn't have the cash. He had the vision. He told me how he wanted it, what he was going to have, and he just kept talking about it and kept talking. By this time, I've written other songs. Other songs have came out. That album is now old. Mom, we still need to do a video Out of My Mind. We do? Yes, we need to revisit that. We do? Yes. So finally, we're up to date now. Everything that guy said he was going to do for that video, he did it. Did he not fund that video? Yes, he did. Yes. He paid for it and everything. I'm so proud of him.
Okay.
He did not give up. And then that song, it was something about that song it was his favorite song when he did the album. He was like, this is my baby, this is my song. And he just always loved Out of My Mind.
Okay.
And so I'm proud of him that he stuck to his guns and he got that money together and hired in everybody he said he was going to hire in.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. His when you listen to the top of this music, that's actually one of his beats that for the show.
Okay.
So I'm using one of his beats for the show. So that was actually pretty nice to be able to do it. But congratulations on raising your boy to be a great a great son who loves his mama.
Oh, I love him too.
Ah, look at you. He got all your shout out, Derek. I know you're watching this.
Yes, baby. We love you.
And the support going forward in what you're doing. So right now, what type of support are you looking for going forward? Obviously, you want a music director, someone else to kind of get musically everybody in line.
Yes,
keep them in line.
Yes.
But you do have, Torrance, you do get help with your music kind of directing now.
Yes,
right?
I do.
Okay. So with that, working with the music person, what else are you looking to do that you need help with?
Probably what I need help with, I want to tap into some more producers.
Okay.
And my son is very excited about that. I would like to tap into more producers, even tap into more a different genre, meaning jazz, which I did. I tapped into jazz last year, did 2 singles, working with a young man here called Justin T. His name is Justin T. Young. And so I did 2 songs with him. He came on to Out of My Mind, and we did a jazz version. And then he wrote a song, Justin T did, called Undeniable. So I want to kind of dive into doing some more jazz as well. I just did a song with a man by the name of Dennis Nelson out of L.A. And we did Unity from Queen Latifah. And all he wanted me to do is just drop 4 bars, jazz. So I was like, oh, thanks, Lord, not some more jazz. And so now he's speaking of in talking to me about doing more songs with him in jazz. And then I want to tap into some other jazz artists. So I really want to kind of tap into that. When I leave here, I want them to say she did everything that had to do with music.
You're taking my next question away. Keep on going. You want to do everything
that had to do with music and music entertainment. I want to dive into that. I don't want to limit myself from anything. Never will let go of gospel. I'm going to always sing gospel. You know, God is always in me. I'm never going to leave God because he's too good to me. I wouldn't even think of doing that. I'm going to continue doing that, but I still want to be able to tap into different genres of music. Now, whether it won't be rap because I'm not that type of person, but pop, jazz, and I was just taught something today, Southern R&B. I've never heard of that.
Okay.
And so Dennis Nelson, if he ever sees this, he said to me, "You ever thought about doing some Southern R&B?" I never heard of no Southern R&B.
Did he explain it?
I'm gonna ask him what did he mean.
Okay.
Because I've never heard of that. And he said, I think you would do well. And he was explaining to me, nowadays when you do R&B, they're looking for more the younger crowd to do the R&B. And I'm older. So certain things I'm not going to sing about, you know, because now they're going to talk about stuff that we wouldn't even present it like that. You know, we did it more intelligently. You know, it was more intelligent.
You had to think a little bit.
Like Love Come Down. I was so slow on that song. I did not know that that's what everybody thought that was. I'm sitting there saying, what? That's what Love Come Down mean? I didn't know that.
Right.
Because I was so naive because of the way they did it until it took a younger crowd to tell me. Now, how did the younger crowd know what the song meant? I didn't know what it meant. But, you know, it's that kind of stuff, you know. So think I may see what this Southern R&B is all about.
Okay.
Because I don't want to let go R&B. I love 90s and 80s and 70s R&B. I love it.
I love the idea how you were talking about changing things from kind of the R&B, the regular beats, to changing it more jazzy.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called. I don't know if it's like the elevator music. You could tell me. I'm not a.
I don't know
It's
either.
a different style. So I've heard, you know, even in Bruno Mars, but in a jazzy way. And I'm like, oh, I like that. So somebody out there tag in, because I know you know what it is. Whatever it is where you change the songs, and it's just a jazz song now. I love that. It's kind of maybe this. Where did I go? I went to Fountain Blue, and there was a place in there called I forgot whatever something. I forgot the name of it. The little jazz bar in there. But the guy was singing, and I was like, whatever that's called, I want to hear more of that.
Okay.
And it's where we just soften everything up. It doesn't have to be loud and blaring. I mean, you have the voice for it. Let me tell you. But it's just softening it up, and your voice is so. I want to say.
I'm scared. What you gonna say? What you gonna say?
You're angelic.
Oh.
It's an angelic voice that you have that
Okay.
I mean, now granted, it's powerful.
Okay.
But you also have that angelic voice. I mean, even here on the podcast, you need to be doing some kind of soft and, I don't know, late night radio.
You know what? It's something that you said that because I do want to do something in radio. I was told that since high school because I used to do the announcements. You know how you do the announcements and everybody hears it. You're like, you need to get into radio. I do want to do that. I would like to be a DJ or something at a radio station or even a podcast. You know, I would love to do that. So,
well, talk to me if you want to do the podcast. Come on.
We gonna talk,
Come
girl.
on.
Yes. I would love to do that. Yes.
Absolutely, because your voice is so soothing. It's one of those things to where I listen to certain people, especially when I do my Sunday. I do a Sunday kind of like, prayer day, and it really is listen to motivational things. It can be anybody speaking. It doesn't have to be someone within a church, but I listen to motivational speaking. And sometimes the voice, like if you're yelling at me all day, I can't do it all day. I need someone that is going to sit and calm down and speak. Joel Osteen is one of my favorite. His voice is just so, I love listening to his voice. Which makes me then want to listen to everything he's saying.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I don't fall asleep on. I want listening intently at his voice, and so your voice is one of those that I would love to be able to hear. I heard someone told me it sounds like I could be talking over intercom at a on the airplane. The stewardess.
Okay.
And
yes.
I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be a stewardess, but look, you give me the mic, I will talk.
Okay.
That's one of the things I've never been afraid of, and we'll get into fear, because the fear I always talk about within having being skilled and kind of push yourself forward. There's fear and stuff, and how did you push yourself forward through fear?
Ooh.
Throughout the way with everything we've talked about already, just kind of going in fear.
You know what? I still struggle with that, with fear. And Torrance probably over there nodding his head. Fear, it kicks in real heavy, and then anxiety. So I still struggle with that, and what helps me with it is a very supportive team. They're there to push me and encourage me, if this is the vision, and they push everything that I present to them. I'm like, I need to do this. Because it like drops in my spirit. I was like, I need to do this. Okay, well, tell us what you need us to do. What do you want us to do? And, if they can't do it, then God will send me somebody that will be right there to help catapult me in the direction that I need to go to get this out of me. It's almost like being pregnant and you ready to birth this, and you get uncomfortable when you're pregnant. You want that baby to come out. That's how I am. When I have something that I want to do, I can't sleep, and I have to figure it out because I get uncomfortable because I know this is something that I need to do. So the way I get over it is prayer and a supportive team. And if I have that and a supportive team, I usually push myself through it. But again, fear always kicks in. Every time I mount the stage to sing, I'm fearful, and anxiety kicks in. Even though I'm doing all Motown, every single night, anxiety kicks in, that fear kicks in. But I know fear is nothing but the enemy, because it doesn't want you to push out what God has given you to give to people to hear. So I always say, okay, you a liar, church stuff. Devil, you are a liar.
Yeah,
we are going out here and we're going to sing. Somebody's going to enjoy it. Somebody's going to hear it. Somebody's going to feel better when they hear it, or the church vernacular. Somebody's going to be blessed by it. So that's the kind of stuff that I say. And then when I go out and I see the people shake hands, hug, kiss, take pictures, and they'll say, I really enjoyed you. I felt something when you were singing. When you go out with a pure heart, all that goes away. So once I usually hit the stage and the first note comes out, I'm good. But it's just getting there that makes it so hard. When you came to see Aretha Franklin, I was in the back having a fit. And Torrin was like, Auntie, it's going to be okay. Right. It's going to be all right. The day before, I'm having a fit. Having a fit. Can't remember words. That's another thing. When fear kicks in, I forget words. Sometimes I'm on the stage and I forget the words because the anxiety is just like, so I'll be going through.
Yeah. Even with all the years of training and practice that you've been doing, the fear still kicks in. I always feel like I need the fear. If I didn't have the fear, I think I'd be lackadaisical about the things that I'm doing. I'd be too comfortable if I wasn't fearful. There's amount of fear that I'm okay with. Yes, I'm a little nervous or anxious or whatever, words I'll say. But that fear actually just says, okay. Yeah. Calm down. You got this. It's a good thing. You're in a position of opportunity. So those are things that I'm coaching myself on when I'm in the middle or faced with fear of not knowing what to do. I did a Q&A session for my guys. He just did his play. And he was like, the night before, I said, do you want me to do your Q&A session? He was like, oh, I wasn't going to do one. And I was like, what? Oh, we going to do a Q&A now. I'm confident. I walk out of the room. I was like, wait, we haven't rehearsed. We haven't done nothing. I got this. And next day I was like, we haven't rehearsed. So it was starting to just eat at me that we hadn't got this done. And then here we are. He's so busy the day of. He gives me the names literally 15, 20 minutes, gives me the list of what, the dancers, the performers, everything. I'm stumbling through names. How do you say this last name? That fear. By the time I got there, my knees was like,
yes.
I'm amongst a room of people who are just there to support, but that fear, shoot,
ain't no
almost
joke.
Took me out.
Yeah, it ain't no joke, man. My hands go to sweating, and yes, my hands are already soft, so they go to sweating, and knees go to hurting even worse. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and people be like, I want to do what you do. No, you don't. No. You really need to reconsider that,
Right. It's
or either
hard.
we got people to talk about us, what we do. They don't know what they're doing. Okay, come sit in our seat.
Yeah.
Take this on, because it's not going to be as easy as you think it is, especially if you haven't been called to do it. And usually those that want to do it and say they can do it better than us, they haven't been called to do it. Right. And they feel like they can do it better than us, but you really can't handle the pressure that comes behind it. You can't. I had somebody say to me, you need to go through what I went through, because you haven't suffered like I've suffered to get to where you're going. And it was just told to me a couple months ago. And it kind of like struck me. I'm like, if you only knew my story, if you only knew the hell that I went through to get to where I'm at, and I'm not even where I want to be. God hasn't even opened up the doors that he promised me he was going to open up for me. And for you to say that to me. So it's people try to measure you according to what they went through.
Right.
And I just think it's so unfair.
Everyone's strength is different.
Yes, absolutely.
Biggest weaknesses are different. Some weaknesses are not a weakness to me. They're a catalyst to work harder, to be stronger, and some will crush me.
Yes.
If you say certain things or do certain things, it could crush me versus other things can build me up. And so whatever we've been through, everyone has their story again, and especially if you haven't. This person, and let me tell you, this person can know you from a childhood and feel like they know you. And those are the people who are the worst. Yeah. I'm sorry. They're the worst because they're not giving space for you to say, there's some things I just didn't say. There's some things I just didn't tell you about, whether it be as a child, right? Childhood friends, and whether it be even family members.
Right.
There are family members who did not know I had a stroke at 32 until years later.
Right.
I'm in my 40s and I start talking about it at 40 years old. I didn't talk about it then and didn't say anything there. So when I'm having an anxiety attack or things like that, you just, she tripping.
Yeah, right.
Something wrong with her. Y'all say, she's been acting up for the last, she's starting to go out. She leaving them kids at home and, leaving with their dad. I was going through something.
Yeah, I agree. And the person that said it to me, they really don't know me that well. I guess they think they know me, but you really don't know my pedigree. You don't know the backstory. It's just so easy to judge people. So, yeah, I'm going to let it go.
What would you say? Well, what would you say, whether it be to that person or others, as we wrap it up? Okay. What would you say?
I would say you can't judge people like that. Everybody has a measure of, let me find the right word, faith, a measure of testing. So for you to say you didn't struggle like I struggle, well, whatever I went through, it was a struggle for me. You probably will say, well, that was easy for her. Just like whatever you went through, I might say it was easy for you. Everybody has a different measure of being tested and a measure of faith and tried throughout life. Like some people can handle divorce. Some people lost their minds. Me and you probably should be crazy right now because
but we thrive.
But we made it through. There are some women who were married 5 years, and right now, if you go find them now, they're probably not even haven't even advanced in their lives. There's some women like me at I was married for 30 and divorced for 4. Separated for 4, which is 34 years. A lot of women wouldn't be able to handle that. They would have given up and went backwards instead of progressing. So for you to sit there and say you haven't been through anything, you got to struggle like I struggle, that's very insulting.
So you start off telling them that it insulted you.
Yeah, yeah.
And now, I mean, and here we go is, you know, everyone to each their own. I mean, when you say any of those kind of cliche type of things to kind of just say, and we could turn the cheek. Like you said you're going to leave it alone.
I'm good. You know why? Because I've been through so much hell to what you said. I just laughed it off. I'm like, you know what? That was cute. God bless you. Because you don't even know what you're talking about. But that's all right. God's going to show you what he's going to do through my life and how much I have suffered. But I'm not going to try to prove it to you. You know, and I'm a silent person. I will let you keep doing and daggers and stuff, and I will keep my mouth shut and sit back and let God fight for me. I'll let you say whatever you want to say about me, and I won't even say anything. As long as you don't put your hands on me, as long as you're not up in my face, we good. So whatever you say behind my back and whatever you say amongst others, it don't matter to me because I know God's going to prove you wrong.
Okay, listen, and with that being said, we have Terrie Rimson here. She is going to be doing a bunch of extra shows. By the time the show comes out, we will definitely promote whatever show she has coming up next, and then also make sure everyone knows where to find you. Please let them know where they can find you, Terrie.
Absolutely. Go to my website, everybody. You find everything there. www.terrierimsonmusic.org. And of course, you can find me on Facebook under Terrie Rimson. You can find me. Do people use Twitter anymore? Under Sing Terrie Sing on Twitter. Yeah. On Instagram, Sing Terrie Sing. So yeah, you can find me on all those. But the best place is my website. Yeah.
All right. You guys check out Terrie Rimson, and we'll be back with another episode next time.
Thank you.